everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here with the second of the two nature study lady artist palette swatching journals. If you didn't see the first video, you might want to watch it to just kind of hear the whole blurb of my inspiration to make these. I won't go through it twice because for those of you who are loyal video watchers, I don't want to make you listen to me say the same thing again. So this is book 2 and this one is not yet spoken for, so it will be available. So this is book 2 of the palette swatch books, and I've got a little bit of, I had dandelion, little dandelion petals in here earlier. I've got a couple of them here still floating around. So at the base of this book, well, maybe I should talk about the whole book first of all. So this is a book of a woman artist inspired by nature who wants to write it all down, swatch it all down. So she uses a lot of swatches. And so this is how this book looks. So the book itself is an old hardcover book that I hand dyed. I created this. It's hard for it to see, but it is like gray and it's speckly and it's a bit of blue and a bit of gold. There's lots of lovely things going on. So on top we have first as the base the lady, and she is from a boiled book of old Hollywood actresses. And then on top I've done this swatching and palettes in so many different ways, right? Some of this is from Atelier des Arts from Stamperia. They have a beautiful art collection kit, not kit, but paper collection. And then some of it is stamped and I've hand painted. Some of it is from digitals that I've created, or in this case got from the Graphics Fairy, where I've done inking, and there's paint, there's ink, there's different kinds of paint, all different sorts of palettes exist. And then you'll see lots of things, large tabs and leaves coming at the side. And then back here, this continues on back with the whole thing being very fun and colorful. So all of this though is all sealed. So it feels, it's like one piece. Even though it's made of many pieces, it's one piece. Then on the spine, you can still see the original embossing here from the old book. And then this, these are 49 in market washi tape, fabric washi tape that is stitched on. And then I've used these fun rustic beads where I've tied some areas of the signature together to just kind of give a little playful feel in the hands. So the fabric tying this together is this lovely, it's through metal eyelets, and it's this lovely gray, and it has some nature illustrations on it, like there's mushrooms and bugs and flowers and things, and that's kind of aligned with what this book is. So I have created several digital collections that are part of this book, and I'll kind of point them out as I go. But here we enter the book to beautiful 49 in market paper, and this was from the Spectrum Sherbet collection, which was amazing. And so this is the pink hued one, and we have a nice palette right there that kind of gives you an intro into what this book is going to be all about. So this is a little tip out that I illustrated for my Journal Together Club for March, and then this says colors and brushes. It's a little pocket, and then this is the first of many 1934 ledger pages that I have hand painted these watercolors on to swatch. And then this is a tag that I created. It's kind of the spirit of this book, which is the creative nature inspired woman who is swatching all the things. Leaves are stitched on the edge of these pages. I've left some of these ledger pages just completely alone because the writing is so beautiful. This is from a landscape art instruction book from the 70s. This is a little pen here that I found somewhere in my stash of scrappy things, and some tea-dyed paper, another of those landscape illustrations. This is on boiled art book paper, botanical boiled book. We have a paintbrush there, and then this is a fun boiled book page. This is again the spirit of the ladies of this book. Then here we have a little piece of art that I created. So this is texture paste and gilding and paint, and I was playing with patina for another project and created a few of these fun scraps, and they're just beautiful. I turned it into a journal card, and it goes into this tuck spot. Then this is from my Rustic Palettes digital collection that I created for this. Botanical in the background, and then these are all hand-painted colors. As part of the release of these books, I'm also going to be releasing a little digital collection called Color Stories, and I've hand-painted this here, and then I'm giving a little story to the color. The pink from the very center of the peony. We have a large collage tab on this tea-dyed paper. This is a Rice and Whaley ledger. I do have a collection on Etsy that blows these up into a larger size if you're interested. They're in my Etsy shop, and they are these watercolored pages. This is from my Rustic Palettes collection. Another color story, the majestic inky blue of indigo in the air. This is a beautiful boiled book eco-printed page of watercolor paper from Mary Ellen at Red Parrot. These pages are also a theme in these books because they just honestly, this was the right home for them. More tea-dyed paper. Beauty is the soul of things, and that is the Atelier des Arts collection. And then this lovely woman here is inside with a painty, speckly backing for writing space. And then this is one of the most beautiful pages from the Atelier des Arts collection in the middle here. And then over here we have this little cluster pocket. And then this is an authentic old photograph of these ladies here. I felt like, you know, there seems to be kind of like a sea of people, lots of men behind them, but I felt like they were like women artist graduates from a long time ago, and I just really wanted to highlight them. And so this is stitched on top of a collage board with brown paper on the back, some tea-dyed paper, and more of Mary Ellen's incredible papers, and another page from my Rustic Palette collection, the Rice and Whaley ledger. Tea-dyed paper and another color story, the deep green of the forest at night. And then I've hand-painted this as well. It's from my collection, the Rustic Palettes. And then this is Art is the Essence of Beauty. And then we have this interesting entomology illustration that's gone through the boiled book process, and another Rice and Whaley pastel metallics painted ledger. And over here we have this little botanical vintage document kind of tuck on the boiled book. And this is an authentic piece of ephemera. It is written in French on this beautiful old stationery from Le Tout Petit Daniel. Very cute. And then we have more tea-dyed paper and the landscape illustration book. And then this is a painty palette page. It says Plants and Gardens, and it is from the illustration book. More ledger, and then a paint recipe book with some lovely women and old masters painting. And then a blue-hued palette. This is Strawberry Plants on Mary Ellen's beautiful paper, and then some lovely long leaves. And I believe these are iris leaves. And then this is a little cluster pocket with a paint tube here on more of my watercolor ledger. And then this is some blackout poetry on boiled book page that has been painted with swatches and some old master's art of a woman. It's difficult to imagine, remain legendary, desire and the frenzy of her audacity, unmatched in making eyes, heroines, her aura semi-magical. Fascinated as much as it is haunted, revived the memory, she staked everything on her eyes, cast her shadow over the memory, leaving her old rose taffeta dressing room, always adored. More ledger paper, and this is a fun little page. This has been kicking around in my stash for a while. I felt like this was the right place for it. More tea-dyed paper, another of my botanical digital collection, and yes, those are all hand-painted in. Another of my color stories, a turquoise almost cold to the touch. And then a little pocket here that says Sketch Your Life and put color on it. Boiled book and another Rice and Whaley ledger page. Wanted to include lots of these for all the writing and the palettes, like, you know, they're just really fun. And then another little pocket here that says we all have an artist within us, and this is a little botanical journal card. more tea-dyed paper with leaves. This is one of Mary Ellen's beautiful envelopes in the center of this signature. And I put another rice and whaley, a double folding paper there for more writing. And I like to cut the edge of the envelopes open, so it just makes it easier to tuck things back in than having to try to slide them out the envelope when it's in the center this way. I love the envelopes in the center, but I like to make it easier. And then this is sort of some paint smudges and things on a stitched pocket. And this is another little swatching experiment. And it says, breathe the art around you. And it's stitched around on boiled book page. This is like a big belly band that I specifically left blank because I wanted it to be writing space. Because the page behind it was really busy. And this is some fun rustic stationery. Just going to put that in here. I did leave a few pages white because I felt like this book called to that, right? There should be some pages where maybe you could do your own swatching. This is from my digital, the rustic palettes, and I painted that in. Coffee dyed paper in the other side of that. Another 1934 cash ledger painting on this side. More of Mary Ellen's beautiful strawberry printed paper. This little pocket here with this paint tube and more yellow swatching on ledger. And then this is another of Mary Ellen's beautiful boiled book botanicals. It's a little watercolor paper like journal card, and I love it to bits. Then this is swatching in different pencil leads on this botanical page. And then this is a peony from my Journal Together Club for March on these lovely shades of paint. And that's a journal card in here. Then some fun. This is an old Italian textile book. Or maybe not Italian. No, it's Argentine. Buenos Aires. Pedro J. Holland. Yeah, this is a beautiful book. So this is just some scraplets of a book and some tape and some old paper for a nice writing space. It feels very like a handmade sketchbook, you know. More of Mary Ellen's beautiful paper. And then these are some interrupter watercolors on my digital of the rustic botanical palettes. Another color story, brown, wild like the blowing fur of a grizzly. And then another long tab here, more rice and whaley ledger and handmade paper with leaves. And then this is one of two of these big pop-ups from Atelier des Arts. So look at that beautiful page. I had to make these the center pages and not mess with them too much because they're just really, really nice. I think they're a great inspiration page. Some coffee dyed paper and rice and whaley ledger painted with metallics. More tea-dyed paper, another color story, gold hidden secretly in an unknown tomb. This is my rustic botanical palette, interrupter watercolor, more of Mary Ellen's beautiful eco paper. Art is the essence of beauty, and we have a paint tube and this lovely lady here. This tips out into this boiled book page. It's all about Gaudí and the architecture of Gaudí, and like I wanted to just leave it because there's some really nice things to read there, and I think there's also some good writing space. This is more of this beautiful old textile book from like the turn of the last century. It's got the samples of the textiles on it, and the back is just writing space of this old graph paper. And it goes right into this tuck spot here with this botanical label. Then there is some more of that. This is yellow palette. And then here we have this eye that's sort of sideways, and it's a little tip out for writing space. Then we have this paint tube, and it's a pocket. This is really beautiful boiled book page on construction paper, and it's got a collage with some matching swatch paint to the back there, all in metallics. I drew that eye for this book. And then, there we go. More of Mary Ellen's lovely paper. This is from my digital kit, and it's a blending swatch page. Then watercolor swatches here with this beautiful little piece of stationery. Again, with our botanical nature inspirations for art. color recipe pocket with this lovely gold swatching. Art is the key to happiness. More coffee dyed paper. This is gardening for ladies. This is an old illustration, and then this is from the Victorian wildflower book. Then this is another of the beautiful pages from Atelier des Arts. Coffee dyed paper. I left one of these beautiful linear pages from this art book that was boiled because it talks about Venetian life, and I just love the colors. And then on this side we have this little shiny gallery photo on a collage pocket with these Renaissance art shifting watercolors here with a color chip up top. It's a journal card. Then we have sort of some matching, you know, color inspirations, right? Some blues and a dragonfly there. Another page from my digital, and I've also added some dotted swatches there. More of Mary Ellen's beautiful paper. Another gold, bronze, and silver, all the metallics here on that ledger. A tuck spot here with a paint tube on my digital. And paint tubes again with a lady artist. Journal card. More Rice and Wheelie ledger with paint. More beautiful Mary Ellen paper. Mary Ellen of Red Parrot. And then this is one of my digital pages. It's kind of like the color stories, right? But it's a little bit bigger and different, and I've painted all those in. Here's a color story, the unreal yellow of looking deeply into a daffodil. More tea-dyed paper with leaves. And then this tips out. We have this bit of swatching here, but some writing space, a clustery pocket, and then this is alcohol inks in blue and gold on a boiled book page of a woman. Hopefully you can see her. And then the back. So that tucks in there, that flips, and then when you flip this over, this is boiled art book page, and it's amazing. Coffee dyed paper, more metallics on ledger. This is from the old textile book with the swatches. It's a belly band for this journal card made from boiled art book. Tea dyed paper with a large tab. This is an Edith Holden tag here. Unfolding leaves of wild arum or cuckoo pint, willow catkins. And this is all from the Stamperia art collection, the Atelier des Arts. And this one flips up too. It's just a gorgeous page. Then this is an old book contents page that I just played with paint, watercolor paint. And then another of those beautiful, are they Italian or from Buenos Aires? I can't remember. Maybe for those of you who know this language, you can tell me. Is this Spanish? Maybe. All I know is that it was from the early 1800s, and it was a textile book. So these are all thread samples, and they're real threads. It's all glued down though, so it's not going to go anywhere. Coffee dyed paper and the cash ledger painted with these amazing metallic paints. Another color story, a shade of green to tickle your toes like wild grass. A clustery, this has fabric, it has paper, it's a stitched clustery kind of side tuck spot, and it has this lovely journal card inside, kind of a cottagecore feel. And this actually flips out. This is boiled art book page, and it's really pretty. And I just like the warmth of all these colors with the pops of blue and some botanicals. Then over here, so this is from that same book of old textile bits, as is this. So I've drawn some leaves in metallic here out of this little label tuck for this bit. So this is all very early 1800s paper. And then I've done swatching in metallic Posca marker there. And this tag is inside, and it is a beautiful landscape with some botanicals on the back. And that just tucks down inside of here, and you can kind of see it, right? So it's nice because you can see the colors, and the colors in this landscape kind of shift with those swatches. More hand-dyed paper with plants and coffee, and this is another color story, the green of the tiniest tree frog. another of my Botanical Rustic Palette digitals. This is some Pansy on Boiled Book page from Mary Ellen. This little page is Rice and Whaley Ledger, and I put a pocket on this side, but you can still see the writing. And then this little palette with a moth journal card. And there's the other side with the beautiful blues and purples. And then this green swatch here on this color story, the green of the tender new pine needles. Then we end with a pocket here on my digital page with another of those beautiful, so the textiles were glued on back here. I removed them for writing space, but kept that amazing handwriting. I did not want to mess with it at all. It's just so nice. And then back here, that's the back page. And my seal and my signature and the date. So thank you so much for joining me for palette number 2 of these palette girls. This book will be headed up into first my Patreon, then my Etsy shop. The best way to follow me publicly on Etsy is to follow me on Etsy, and you'll see when I post new things, both journals and digitals included. Or if you're interested in taking another little step into the Studioloo realm and you're interested in the digitals that I create, having first access to all my journals, that is all on Patreon. So I have all my links down below in the description box down here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate having you here, and I hope you liked this flip through. Bye for now.